Morning, guys. Um, I wanted to do this video this morning off of, I'm probably going to do two actually, but I wanted to do this particular video off of something that I saw. And um, it's very typical behavior of some. Now, because first of all, that I'm even doing a video on black men, I already know I'm going to get the backlash. I'm going to get these guys who are going to say that black women deal with thugs, black women need to stop sleeping with thugs, the whole hoorah that they do, and black women deserve it, black women are at the bottom of the barrel, and I got a white woman. It would help me if people like that stayed off my post and stayed off my video, because if you're not dating black women, don't like black women, hate your mom, all of this, it really does no good to even comment. So, but I know it's going to happen anyway. There's going to be a whole bunch of trolls and so forth. But I'm going to make this video anyway because it's true. So I saw a show. It was actually a crime show based off of actual real police stories that are investigated, which is why I say that it is a true story. So, long story short, I'm just going to, because I did miss about maybe the first 3 to 4 minutes of the show. So I'm not sure how this couple met. Really. But anyway, the story goes that there was a black man who won a lottery of about, if I'm not mistaken, about $3 million. Now, this black man, from everything that I gathered in the whole show, had a girlfriend who had given him 2 children. People like to call them baby mamas. That in itself is so derogatory and ugly. These are his children's mother, period. So this man, for whatever reason, was trying to keep his money away from his children's mother, and I guess ultimately his children, because there are legal ways that he could have set up something just for his children, either for them to get it at a certain date, for them to get it monthly, for them to get it quarterly, for them to get the money some kind of way. And he could have scratched the mom or just taken her out of the equation altogether. I'm sure there is a way that he could have done that. But this man, like a lot of, not all, because I know all of the wonderful, hardworking, awesome black men who have absolutely no idea that this kind of thing happens is going to come out of the woodwork and come on my post. I already know that they're going to come out in droves. So, not all black men, but this particular black man and those who are like him, want to keep everything away, in my opinion, out of the hands of the black women who bear them children that they decide to lay down with and have children by. Then now this man had 2 children by this woman. So you can't even really say that the first child was a mistake, because he had another baby by this woman. So anyway, these are his children. These are his heirs, no matter how he feels about the mom, So anyway, getting back to the story, he wanted $3 million. I think he ultimately bought himself, the only thing that I really saw that was that he bought himself a really big, beautiful home out on some land. It's a beautiful home. So some kind of way, as many do, he left the black woman and his children, found him a heavyset white woman who I don't know what kind of credentials she had or whatever, what type of educational background she had, but she was ultimately a con artist. And she was also ultimately a narcissist and psychopath. Guess he didn't see that. So this woman was able to, for some reason, he went to her trying to get her to help him with his money. I guess some type of an investment. And like I say, I don't know who really she was or what kind of credentials she had that he even went to her. But this woman ultimately had this man sign all of his assets, money, everything into basically a dummy account where she had made this name up, which was her name, and to ultimately keep it from his baby's mama or his children's mother from getting it in any kind of way, to keep her from getting the money, and ultimately I think the children from getting even any money. So this woman did this. He signed his all of his stuff into this company that she had made up. And the background to it was that basically she killed this man. She not only killed him, she killed him and she got somebody. Now she's doing all kinds of undercover stuff where she's not telling people exactly what she's doing and what she's doing it for. But she had her ex-husband come over and dig her a 6-foot hole where she said she was trying to bury some trash, which in itself is insulting. But he came over and he did it. And she basically, after he left, because he didn't help her do anything else, after he left, she basically got, well, it really doesn't matter how she did it. Basically, she buried the black man. She shot him twice, buried his body, and had concrete laid over it as if it was a new driveway, which is what she was using it for, a new driveway. She buried him, laid concrete over it, and it became a driveway, you know. Now, that in itself is a diabolical mind. That in itself could have been something which I'm pretty sure she thought about a lot of this stuff. Could have been something where nobody would have ever found his body, but so much stuff began to unravel for her. Basically, you know, she's living, she got his house, she got his, with the rest of the money, she bought vehicles, she went on cruises and trips and everything. I mean, she was just really, really living the life. Now, I think the problem started for her when his family began to look for him, and he wasn't, you know, he wasn't showing up. It's like he just basically disappeared. Well, this woman even got into that. She began to, you know, say things that she began to tell the mom and sisters and everything. Oh, well, he went on a trip, and, you know, I know where he is, but he just told me that, you know, he's just tired of people trying to borrow money from him, and he's tired of people bugging him, and so he just wanted to get away. That was her first elaborate lie. But here's the crazy thing that this woman did. You know, it's amazing how the mind of these people work. This woman continued to go back to the hood and get other black people, willing black men, who were helping her in her story. You know, because she got this one guy where she knew he used to work at this barbershop. She got that particular guy to, oh, well, I'm going to pay you such and such money if you call his mom and tell his mom that, you know, you saw him you know, down in some other city, or you heard from him and he said such and such. And so she's going back paying black people to lie to other black people to help to cover up the fact that she has killed this man for his money. And these black people are willing to help her, you know, and it amazes me how our people sell out each other, you know. Well, the police began to investigate. I really don't, I think maybe the bank or something, some type of tax or government agent or whatever, began to investigate the business or so-called business. And things just were not adding up. You know, they just weren't able to, figure out, you know, how this woman came into this money, and, you know, if this person, you know, who this person was that deposited all this money, and where is this person? I mean, just things that were just being crooked and underhanded that they began to investigate. And of course, you know, it went on a whole few months of a thing. For them to ultimately find out this happened, that happened, that happened. This woman was a classic narcissist. She lied to the end. She lied even when the police are like, we got you. We know you did this. We know who you hired. They already told us. This woman even told the police, okay, look, let me cut a deal with you. You let me just keep all the stuff that I basically stole from this guy. And I'll tell you where the body is, and I'll tell you who killed him. Now, the woman was lying even in that, because she made up some elaborate story about a guy, some drug dealer from Miami, who basically had done the crime, who had basically killed the guy, and it was about money he owed and all this. I mean, she just made up all this stuff, and she would not stop lying to the end. Long story short, they caught her. They got her. Classic, many times white woman behavior and psychopathic behavior. She showed no emotion. She showed no remorse. She even wrote a note to the judge, the courts, or whatever, saying that, you know, the children's mother didn't deserve the money. The children didn't deserve the money. She deserved to keep everything that she had. This is even after she got a life sentence. And she's still fighting to keep this stuff away from this man's children and their mother. And I said all that to say that it just amazes me how some black men will go to lengths to keep money, support, rightful support, because these are his children, out of the hands of the black woman and out of the hands of their children. They just will not and do not want to support the children that they create. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's some type of a hatred, self-hatred. I don't know what that is. But it's real. And so many times these men will go and leave their children's mother and the children and go outside of their community and race and everything else and take care of new children, a new woman, usually of another race. And it just seems to me that so many of these men, I guess, think that the black woman doesn't deserve anything. She's not entitled to anything, even though she's bearing the children, she's taking care of your children, she's raising your children. And this woman isn't a bad woman. Even though I'm not a Christian, I don't believe in Christianity and everything. This woman at least was in the church. She was just a hardworking single woman going to church that he had children by. And I don't know what kind of hatred he had built up for her, for him to say that I never want her to have anything from me or my children. That, I mean, I can somewhat, I guess, understand if you don't want the children's mom to get anything, get their hands. I mean, okay, whatever, that's fine. But what about your children? This is why I said in the beginning, how do you not at least set up some type of a fund? And these are little boys. These are not 15, 16, 17-year-old boys. These are young boys. You could even set up a college fund for them. You could set up some type of bank account in their name. Put your mama's name on it. If you don't want their mom to have access to, put his mom was alive. Put your mama's name on it and say she's gonna be over there. I mean, it's so many ways that he could have protected the children's mother that he apparently didn't want to have the money from getting it, and still took care of his children. But it's evident that he didn't give a damn about taking care of his children either. And this, like I say, is a lot of what I don't understand. This hatred, this deep-seated hatred, not only for these women who are bearing them children, but the children themselves. The children themselves. I mean, and you are willing to give your money to this white woman who ultimately killed you. I can pretty much guarantee that black woman would not have killed him for the money. I'm not going to go on into that, but I'm almost certain she would not have done that, if nothing else but for the sake of these are my children's daddy. You know? So, I mean, I just wanted to share that. I'm not going to go on with it, but it just amazes me how, like I say, so many of these men will do so much to not pay child support, not give anything to the children that they produce, whether the woman, and here's what you hear. Oh, she was a hoe. She was a bitch. She ain't no good. She sleep with thugs. All of that in the end really doesn't matter. You still slept with her. And you still now have children who need clothes and shoes and haircuts. And if it's a girl, she needs some barrettes and hair stuff and dresses and purses. And they need stuff for school every year. Schools more and more. From what I find, when I was growing up in school, schools really didn't ask for too much stuff. Back when I was going to school. Now, these schools, all they do is ask for this, ask for that. You need money for this. You got to pay for that. You have to put up money for this. And I mean, it's just ridiculous. Children need these things. It's not about trying to punish the mom and say, oh, well, I don't want to get that B. Whatever. Okay, don't give that B. Whatever. But you still aren't taking care of your children, and this is what it behooves me so much. Be mad at her, hate her, okay, she was a hoe, thought, whatever, but you still slept with her. But what about the children, though? That's what that's my point. That's the part that I don't understand. Where does the hatred come for your offsprings, for your children? That's the part I don't get. So, ignorant, stupid comments are going to be deleted. Just saying stupid stuff about black women being whatever and they deserve whatever is going to be deleted, because if you cannot sit here with me and dialogue one-on-one and explain to me why children, I don't care who the mama is, do not deserve support, there's nothing. You don't need to leave a comment on my channel. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And until the next video, we'll see you next time.